Hi everyone. Welcome back to the Work Chat. Today we're tackling a challenge nearly everyone faces, working with a difficult or demanding boss, and doing it without losing your sanity, your career, or your self-respect. Whether they micromanage, overload you, change direction daily, or expect unrealistic perfection, managing up isn't about placating. It's about strategic communication, empathy, and influence. In this episode, I will share 5 proven strategies that will help you not just survive, but thrive, no matter how tricky your boss is. Let's get started. First, let's talk about mindset. When your boss is difficult, it's easy to feel frustrated, anxious, or even resentful. So here's our first strategy. Reframe the problem. Instead of seeing it as a personality clash, try viewing it as a challenge in communication and leadership. Ask yourself, what does my boss value most? What pressures might they be under? What communication style do they prefer? When you shift from they're unreasonable to they need X, behave in Y way, and respond when I do Z, you stop feeling powerless and start acting with purpose. That shift in mindset gives you agency, not victimhood, and it's the first step in managing up with clarity and confidence. Strategy 2. Become a detective of your boss's preferences. In another word, know their triggers and working style. Do they like bullet point updates or narrative summaries? Do they respond better to quick Slack pings or scheduled check-ins? Do they want full detail or just the headline? Match their style. Show them you're on their wavelength. For example, if they're detail-oriented, always add a brief context sentence to numbers. If they're big picture focused, lead with the outcome before the how. When you align with their preferences, they'll perceive you as organized, reliable, and that makes conflict go far smoother. Next, let's talk deliverables. Instead of waiting for your boss to chase you for updates, strategy number 3 is this: push upward with one-pagers and solution-oriented check-ins. Here's the thing. Sometimes demanding bosses aren't asking for more. They're asking for clarity they can process quickly. Rather than sending a giant status update or a messy list of tasks, try this. Send a short, structured weekly one-pager that includes key accomplishments, 3 to 5 bullet points, upcoming priorities, what's coming next, any blockers where you need input or decisions. You can frame it like this. Wanted to keep you looped in. Here's where we are, what's coming, and where I could use your input. This kind of proactive communication builds trust, reduces micromanagement, and positions you as someone who takes ownership and thinks ahead. Ever feel overwhelmed because your boss keeps piling on tasks? You want to say no, but you're afraid it might ruin your career? That brings us to strategy number 4. Learn to say no with context and upsell. Here's the secret. A strategic no can actually protect your productivity and your professional reputation. But here's what doesn't work. Vague pushback. That just gets ignored. Instead, offer a clear, context-based alternative. Try something like, I'm currently focused on X, which needs to be done by Y. If we add Z, that'll delay X's timeline. Would you prefer I shift priorities, or should we loop in additional support? You're not refusing. You're presenting trade-offs and options. That shows leadership, not defiance. And a good boss? They'll appreciate the honesty, the clarity, and the fact that you're thinking like a team player, not just a task taker. Finally, let's talk about long-term reputation, which brings us to strategy number 5. Build credibility and influence over time. Managing up isn't about a one-time conversation. It's about consistently showing that you're dependable, proactive, and aligned with the big picture goals of the organization. That means over-delivering on your core responsibilities, anticipating challenges, and offering solutions before you're asked, acknowledging your boss's input and feedback, highlighting team or project wins at the right time and in the right way. One bonus tip is to send a quick thank you or follow-up when your boss offers support or makes a helpful decision. Even a simple message like, thanks for the call out in that meeting, really appreciated it, goes a long way. These small moments of emotional intelligence, they build lasting trust and help shift your role from someone who just reports to their boss to someone their boss relies on. Here's one more thing most people overlook. You don't have to manage up alone. Influencers and peer allies can support your efforts. Share your weekly summary with a trusted coworker before sending it upward. Ask, does this reflect our team's biggest priorities? If you need support saying no or clarifying scope, having interlocutors at your level can diffuse tension before it reaches your boss. Plus, you reinforce that you're team-oriented, not just self-serving. All right, let's do a quick recap of our 5 core strategies on managing up. 1. Reframe the relationship. View it as a communication puzzle. 2. Mirror their style and triggers. 3. Proactively communicate with structured updates. 4. Say no smartly, with options and timelines. And 5. Build credibility through consistent alignment and appreciation. As a bonus, work with peers to validate your approach and reinforce messaging. That's a wrap for today's episode. If this episode helped you rethink your approach to working with a demanding boss, please hit like and share it with a colleague who could use these strategies too. Don't forget to leave us a comment below. What's the toughest part of managing up in your situation? And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. It really helps others find better workplace strategies. Until next time, work smart, communicate clearly, and manage up with grace. See you in the next episode.